What did you want to be when you were a little kid? Because parents always used to ask us that.
Yeah.
That was always the question.
I think maybe like
when you meet other parents, you know, or like an aunt and uncle, they're like, oh, like, what do you want to be?
Maybe, I don't know. I was into Thomas for a while. Maybe a train conductor when I was a kid.
Yeah, everyone. If you don't want to be a train conductor for at least a week.
And like police officer for a little firefighter, like
Cowboy. No, football playing cowboy in space.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what is that from again?
Squidward.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Squidward.
I definitely wanted to be a paleontologist. I wanted to be...
I was into dinosaurs, too.
Yeah, I was so into dinosaurs. I just thought it was so cool that people got paid to go search and, like, dig shit up.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to be an inventor. That was my next thing. And I had this little book that... I had one where it was like a floating garbage can because it was my job to take the garbage can out. And the wheels broke or like freezed up at one point. So it was really annoying. And a lot of people, like my other neighbors, would just drag them along and they'd have to buy a new one. So I'm like, oh, we'll just put a hovercraft like under it.
Simple. Why haven't they thought of it yet?
Yep. So I had a book of inventions like that. I think what led me to start wanting to do that is when we learned about Ben Franklin. And I was like, wait, so all these other people were politicians and this guy was like one of the founding fathers and known for that, but he just sat around inventing shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't know about his syphilis, but...
Oh, I didn't know he had syphilis.
Oh, a lot of syphilis.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think he legally changed his middle name to syphilis.
Nuh-uh.
What? No, but it's crazy. Yeah, I heard someone was talking about how later in his life, you could tell in his inventions and his literature that his mind was definitely like fleeting, but he still was smart enough to kind of know like, okay, my mind is rotting right now.
Yeah. Let me wrap it up for this life.
Oh yeah, dude. A lot of people had syphilis back then.
Yeah. Wow. I know he went over to France at some time during the war, and he was probably hoeing around a little bit. He's kind of old.
Benny Franks.
But yeah, I always thought the Ben Franklin and like Thomas Edison, Da Vinci, like all those kind of Renaissance man, that was super cool to me. But I feel like I didn't start thinking about that stuff till college. Like it didn't become a reality to me. Like I was going to do something outside of being in school, like until after. I thought about being psychologist, I think, at some point after I'd probably taken like a psychology course, and I thought that was super interesting.
Right. That class definitely kind of made me want to do that too. Yeah. That was a good class. I hated my professor, but I think I wanted to be a physicist at one point, but then I had a physics teacher that was a complete asshole. Yeah. So I didn't do that. Yeah. Then that was senior year actually. So then I went to college and I was like, okay, what would I make money doing? Let's do finance, business. Yeah. And I had finance and music as my double major. You know those placement tests that you take for like math? Yeah. During Pit Start? So I had to take one for music theory, placed like 4 classes above. So I was like, okay, I'll add that as a major. So I went in having both of those. I only took 1 class of each and dropped both of them. So
knew right away.
Yep.
What was it about them that made you not want?
I think it was the learning about... well, it's different for both. So I'll do finance first. Learning what you're not interested in is the most important thing you should do freshman year of college. Yeah,
for sure.
Music was a little different because I don't know. I've never really liked any music class I've ever taken out of school. They're just, I don't know. I've never done well in those classes. Couldn't tell you why, because I could play everything. I think it's just the curriculum that they design is such bullshit that if you don't do the project how they want it for a good grade, then you get a bad grade. Yeah. You know, and they deduct points for the most ridiculous shit. So
too much structure.
Yeah, they had, I don't think they have this class anymore. I think the guy left. It was African American music in North America. That class was cool. I learned a lot in that. But afterwards, like after I left that class, I would come home and not want to do music because it was like the extrinsic and intrinsic thing.
Yeah.
Like that's already what I was doing. So when I found marketing, it was kind of the bridge between the two. I would learn about stuff, come home and want to do music again. So I did that.